So I put my hair back in a ponytail and I'm letting it air dry because I just took a shower. And I want this very colorful because this is going to attract men to my layer so I can kill them. So anyways, I am going to be mixing in some different colors. So what I'm going to do is take a nice fluffy brush, very fluffy. So I'm going to be taking the ultraviolet color from NYX. This is an eyeshadow and going to be putting that where mostly I would bronze my face or contour. And I want this also in my hairline. Let's just get messy with it. So I got this eyeshadow from IMATS this year because it was the beginning of the year, and this is a pearl shadow and I got it in PS35. It doesn't really have a name on here, but it's this really nice green shiny glittery shadow, and I'm going to be getting the same exact brush that I use, dipped my brush in there and put it where kind of like if I had a unibrow on my forehead. And I'm also kind of using this as a highlighter, putting it above the purple that I put on my cheeks. Next you're going to want to take some of your prosthetics that you've already made with the scales. And since I have kind of different ones, I'm going to see which one I like better. And I don't know if I want it right here on the eyebrows or if I want it up here more. I think I like it better up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put liquid latex right there, let it get tacky, and then apply this. And be very careful that you don't get the liquid latex in your hair because that would hurt. If you're very clumsy or you don't know that you might get it in your hair, you can put some Vaseline right there up top. And you just want to firmly press your gelatin prosthetic down. After just applying the headpiece, because this is the only piece I want right now, I'm going to be highlighting with the Disney Villains shimmering powder, and this is from the Ursula collection, and this is called Leviathan, which I think is awesome, an awesome name for this shimmering powder because a Leviathan is a sea monster, if you guys didn't know. It's in the Bible. So I'm actually just going to highlight this, put some shimmer on those scales, and I am going to contour my neck area right here, and I'm going to be using the same colors, first purple and then I will go in with a nice green. Taking my finger, I'm just going to rub the green on my bone area, on my collarbone. Using a NYX Jumbo eye pencil in Purple Velvet, I'm going to be coloring in my brows, but I'm not going to do the full brow in purple, just the beginning. And at the spur of the moment, I thought it would be cool to kind of put some where you would put bronzer on your nose to make it appear smaller. I thought it would just add a little nice touch. For the outer brows, I'm going to be using another NYX Jumbo eye pencil in Peacock. Next, going in with Vaseline, I'm going to be covering the edges of my hair right here. I'm going to be applying liquid latex again right here. And I'm firmly applying my gelatin prosthetics, which are my scales. I had placed the more bigger scales near my hairline and the smaller scales near my mouth and my cheek area. As you can see, it's kind of growing. I also put some orange eyeshadow on my nose to highlight my nose. And then next I'm using a Jumbo NYX eye pencil in Milk, and I'm going to be using this as like a primer because I'm going in with my Villains beauty book by the Disney collection, and this is Ursula. I'm taking the color Vanessa, and it's a nice gold color, as you can see here. Here's a close-up, and I'm using the gold color just to kind of highlight, and also using some individual scales that I had made and put together. I'm kind of puzzling them together, first putting on latex on the side of my other face and just kind of repeating the step of wanting some scales over there, but the pieces that I used were a lot smaller, so I kind of just puzzled them together. And then after those two pieces were glued to my face, I also added some more individual scales using gelatin. And how I colored the scales for this look, I actually used eyeshadow mixed in with the gelatin while the gelatin was melted. I also thought that it would be nice to add some more scales onto my face, and these ones I had made a lot smaller than the ones that I used on the side or on my forehead, and I wanted it to be an effect as the small scales near my eye and then the bigger scales near the outside of my face. And using the same method on how I applied the scales to my face, I'm going to apply scales to my arm. As I'm letting that dry, I'm going to be creating gills, and how I'm doing that is I'm taking two little squares of toilet paper and folding them up, and then I'm going to dip it in latex and apply it to my chest area. You can apply your gills anywhere you want. I just wanted them in front of my chest. And taking a sponge, dipping it in latex, I'm applying the latex onto the toilet paper, smoothing that out. And I'm going to repeat this method over and over again until I have another layer of a gill on top of the one that I had just created. And then going on the other side of my chest, upper chest, I'm going to create two more gills using the same method. And then I'm going to want to let the latex dry. And while the latex is drying, I'm going to be powdering blue eyeshadow all over my face with a fluffy brush. And then once my latex has dried, I'm taking a foundation brush, putting some foundation on my gills just to kind of blend them into my skin. And then after that, I'm going to be taking some blue powder, putting that on top of my gills to make it look more mermaidy, more fishy. Next, I'm going to be taking some scales and place it on my chest, and when I found out that this was perfect, I made this face. So next, I'm just taking individual scales that I think are nice and placing them on top of my gills to give it more of a fishy vibe. And since this mermaid has been fighting for her life, we are going to make a couple of wounds. The first one I placed on my shoulder, put some latex and then toilet paper on, and slowly just wetting the toilet paper with latex and a sponge, and I'm going to let that dry, and then placing another wound on my neck. So after waiting a while to let the latex dry, I'm now covering it in foundation, and I'm going to be picking at it with some tweezers. You can use scissors to pick at it. I just use like little tiny scissors, like nose hair scissors, just kind of slowly like getting the stuff out, trying to make holes. And then I'm going to be using a Wet n Wild palette, the Wet Fantasy Makers, I think it's called, or just Fantasy Makers. I'm taking the red and the black cream colors together, and I'm placing them inside the holes that I created. Next, I'm taking some Scar blood and placing that inside the holes also to make it a little bit more gory, and some stage blood. And when I'm using stage blood, I actually like it to make it runny and looks like the blood is actually dripping out. So I do this also on my neck and just kind of paint that on there. And for my lips, I'm using a NYX purple eyeliner or lip liner. It's kind of universal. I filled in my lips, and then I also used an eyeshadow by NYX for the inside of my lips. Next, I'm using a pink face paint, and I'm just dotting that on my face. This face paint is by Tag. I also went in with some swirly design on my chest area, because a lot of fishes, especially coral fish, have a lot of beautiful designs, a lot of nice contrast. And I wanted this to pop, so I thought it'd be nice to add some dots, some swirls here and there with the pink face paint. And taking some jewelry, putting my hair down, I had colored my hair with some Halloween spray color using the colors purple, green, and pink. I also put some seashell necklaces together, some bead necklaces, and put that in my hair to make it more of a mermaid sea creature look. And then I put on some dramatic falsies. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys later. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at WhitneyEstes21. Bye everyone!